Today marks 1179 days sharing lessons I learned and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today we speak about one of the most important things, conversations. Conversations. And why is that so important? I think that everyone understands that we live part of community. And if we want to be part of community, we need to have conversations. Of course, we need to understand conversations with ourselves. But today I want to speak about conversations with others. Let me see if you want to develop emotional intelligence, if you want to develop influence, if you want to develop leadership. There's so many things that really comes out of conversation itself. So today we'll share really six levels from the least important but is essential because that's where we build foundation to the most important level of conversation. I think that we always need to seek that. Okay, how I could really improve my communication, how I could really make sure that my message gets delivered. Because I think that's I really love what my coach said one time. He said that the biggest misconception in communication is that we believe that it actually happened. What it means? It means that you share something. You share the experience, you share the story, share the lesson, share the information, but that information didn't land at the other person. So it means that your message was not received. It means communication never happened. One person said something, other person didn't receive it, so that means that the communication never happened. So they will share six conversation levels where we're really able to really build that up, that that conversation would happen, that communication would happen, and that message would be received properly. So number one, and this is the easy one, is surface level. That means that this is a casual small talk. Sometimes, of course, we don't want small talk. Some maybe people just want just small talks. But I think that when you meet a stranger, maybe you want to speak for a minute casual talk, maybe an hour. It depends on everyone's probably skepticism and how they really connect. Because some people are very open to strangers, some people need have like their walls up, and sometimes you're able to start to feel that they are opening up, and then of course then be able to really move from light and general conversation to really facts. I think that is and it's quite easy to facts like what that means that we able to share the things that is that both of you might know that is exactly true, because you're not able to really have a discussion or conflict or argument about the facts. There's law of gravity, so that means that's it. You're not able to really discuss. That means facts and details is very easy to really discuss because both of you understand that is true. Third level is that when we actually like, okay, look, we understand it. We had a small talk. We understand there is some kind of facts we can share. Even people who love sports, that means that they're able to really mention some kind of game of sports, whereas actually what happened, actually winner. So there's facts. A third level that I think that's like it becomes a little bit more risky are ideas and opinions. And that's where the places becomes very, very interesting because opinions and ideas might be different. And that's why sometimes I even don't look into topics that I really don't like is politics. Because politics is very, very based on opinions. So that means that we always, okay, let's look into ideas. What kind of ideas I will share? What kind of opinions I would love to share? What kind of ideas and opinions would help that person? And be able to share to each other our ideas and opinions. Because I think that some people want to share to every single person without casual conversation, but besides any kind of facts, just straight to opinions. And I think that's wrong. I think if you understand what is foundation factual and what is opinion, I think that in life we have a tendency to really believe that those opinions, those ideas are actually true, but that's not what it is. Sometimes it's just beliefs, thoughts, interpretations, and we need to be very careful to really not move interpretations as a fact. It's very, very important. So next level that we move in from conversation, of course, let's review small talk, surface level, then is facts, then there's opinions and ideas. And the next level that is becoming this is level where actually things start to happen, connection starts to deepen, and that's a personal or emotion level. So what it means that we start to share our emotions, our experiences, maybe some personal stories, because when a person starts to share their personal story, it's almost impossible not to share through their emotions. So because every story brings emotions. The person who shares the story has emotions, and the person who receives that story a lot of times has emotions as well. You transfer that emotion, and because you transfer that emotion, that's a connection point. I think one of the best ways to really have a connection is have that transfer of emotion. It could be a lot of emotions. It could be anger for the story. It could be sadness. It could be happiness. It could be joy. It could be grief. It doesn't matter. But being able to really bring together those emotions, those stories, and that's something that every single time we need to really learn how to connect, not through ideas, not through thoughts, but through personal stories, through emotions. Those ideas are great, but I think that those ideas, when you share an idea, and then we're able to tie that idea into the personal story, tie that idea to emotion, I think that that becomes to believe. That's become so much more powerful, so much more influential. And that's why I said people say exactly the same thing, but some people are really trustworthy or some people not. And I think that's where it starts beginning trustworthy or not, because people who say just information, sometimes people are still skeptical. But when people start to share information plus their personal story, that becomes much, much, much more influential. But we don't want to stop here. We want to really have even that introspective and vulnerable um, level. And what is that? That means that even though that you can share a story, you might not share the things that maybe you're not proud of. I think that's what I like about Ed Milet is that the things that you believe that disqualify you are most likely the biggest things that qualify you to do the best job, to be the person that helps someone to overcome. Because I think that the thing that is that when you think that something is very, very just for you, most time is very, very common. Most people think the same way as you do. And we have a tendency to believe that it's just you, just me. But we have, all of us have that. So that when we start to really look into introspective conversation, vulnerable conversation, being able to really share your um, fears, your aspirations, big aspirations, why those aspirations are important. I think it's very, very, very important to be able to share the things that scares you, those emotions that maybe even control you in some term, the things that you were embarrassed about. I think it's very important because I think that the thing that you were embarrassed, and when you share that, other person feels now comfortable to share vulnerable story as well. Because I think that leaders want sometimes followers to share the things that's going on, not maybe not the best for them, but the leader I think they're supposed to lead as well by example. So they're supposed to share the things that they went through, the things that they are going through right now that they are struggling with, just to make sure that they share and lead example by being vulnerable about the things in their life. So the fifth level is being able to really look introspectively and be vulnerable to in front of other person, because that's taking a risk. It might be that you will be afraid that you will be judged, because that's the fifth level is where really becomes a lot of times difficult, because it becomes risky. You can have a fear of judgment, you have fear of rejection, because what happens if I will share my vulnerability, my insecurity, my ego, my embarrassment story, and that person will judge me. But actually, when we share our vulnerability, we're not seem weak, we seem strong, because we're able to share it. And a lot of times it is that we already overcame that, because we're not able to share the things that we're still dealing with. But when you overcome something, at that moment it's so easy to share about it, because you are already a different person. That means the past person who made a mistake is a different person. Now you are a totally different person, and it's much, much easier to share and have that conversation. And last one, number six, conversation level, is transformational or philosophical. So what it means that means we start really looking into questions very, very, very deep, existential questions, moral dilemmas, profound insights. And this is very important. I think that when we really want to really grow, improve, and become the best version of ourselves, we need to really come into realization that we need to find those profound insights that allows us to change immediately. And I think that every single book has a profound insight. Every single seminar has a profound insight, but we need to look for it and have intention to look for it. Because you're not able to find something that you're not looking for. You're not able to find what you're not looking for. And I think that that's when we actually move at transformation level, you're able to make such a big impact, not just on yourself, but on other people, because you are able to have those transformational conversations where you lead other people, where you're asking the right questions into that transformation. And that's why I think that people who really amazing coaches, they're always able to have that transformational conversation. They're able to listen. They're able to ask deeper and deeper and deeper questions that really finally get into those profound questions that we're able to ask. Like even like can even happiness be without suffering? That means that the well, questions that you can come up in that transformation level are endless. But the thing that we need to understand, rather than speaking about surface level, we need to really move and work towards. Now, of course, if you never had a transformational conversation, that means there will not be that you already know that there is a transformational conversation and you will be able to manage that conversation right away. No, this is steps you're taking in to really achieve that and develop that. And the more time you spend in that transformational level, the easier it is to go to that level. Now, one important key aspect to that not every single person wants to be in that level. Some people want to suck in number one, some people number two, some other people number three, some number four, number five. But that's totally fine. And being able to really connect with all six levels allows you to connect with every single person that you meet. It's maybe a person that is maybe poor, maybe a extraordinary wealthy, maybe a barely making, maybe a billionaire, because you are able to get into deep level conversations and you're able to connect with every single person. And it's just to understand, okay, what kind of conversation level are they communicating? How we could connect? Because if you try to communicate with someone in a sixth level while they want to speak with step one, level one, of course it will be mismatch. And above them, like, oh, I don't like this guy. But if you're able to really be a leader and say, like, this person is wanting to speak just for now, because yeah, I think that as a leader, you're able to really meet people where you are and lead in pace to really open up the opportunity to really speak in a different level. I think that's very, very powerful. So hopefully you should reflect on conversation levels as well and see yourself what kind of conversation level you use the most. And I will remind you before I go those all six levels. So number one, service level. Second is factual. Third is opinion or idea. Fourth is personal or emotional level. Number five is introspective or vulnerable level. And the last one is transformational or philosophical level. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.